Wow, wow. Hey, much love and respect. Thanks for tuning in once again, guys. Um, Another episode here of Kurimeo Meditations where we invite special people to the panel. This very special person right here. I've been learning a lot from watching his videos. We have Paul Cook here. If you guys don't know who he is or ever heard of him, you guys are gonna definitely meet him today and enjoy what he has to, what he's offering to this community and to our generation. Another of these hidden truths, amazing, incredible things, just like what we show on our channel. And I know it's gonna eventually connect uh, to what we're showing in my channel. What he's finding, it's amazing. Before I begin and introduce Paul. And also, guys, let me know if the music's too loud in the background. I'll put it a little lower. Um, yeah, so I wanted to show some images and remind you guys first. What we've kind of gone over here a little bit in the channel, and when we're talking about ancient navigators, right? Like, who are these people in the British Isles? Like, how did they get there? Who are they? Are they really coming? Like, is the mainstream narrative, is that correct? Like 100%, you know? And so on my channel, we try to kind of like show an alternative of a possible origin of these people. And many of them may be possibly coming out of, America, instead of what they're saying, what they're calling Egypt or Canaan. We're learning a lot, um, last couple of years about a true origin and orientation when it comes to origin of civilizations, like agriculture, structure building, like advanced architecture, like what we're going to learn today. Like, there was this ancient science that was definitely brought around the world by certain special people, and did we really get the full story when it comes to their origin? So that's I just want to remind everybody. I know we're going to be talking about mainly about England, but we're going to talk about probably a lot of things. But you know, who are these ancient Britons? And these Picts and these Celts and all this Formorians and all these other people. I just want to remind everybody that the strongest ocean current in the world is the Gulf Stream. It'll bring you right from, literally from Jamaica to England. If you get stuck in the current, you might end up washed up ashore in Europe, and that actually happened many times throughout the years before Columbus. And these things were written down. They hid this from us. There was Indians being washed up ashore over there in Roman times, so-called Roman times, right? And all that. And we know that when we're talking about ancient navigation, we were doing that. Like, when we're talking about Columbus coming and seeing what he was calling canoes fitting 150, 200 people. Um, yeah, those are more than just canoes. They're ships, just like the Viking and Phoenician ships. They're out of one hull, one large tree. The same thing with sails. And you get on a current, you can go almost anywhere, especially if you know how to navigate the stars. And that's what we've shown here. Like these spears in Costa Rica, we're trying to see these were like ancient navigational universities here. Like they were teaching people how to navigate from here. Like the canal has always been there. There was an ancient canal in Nicaragua, border of Nicaragua and Costa Rica, before they built the Panama Canal. It was always there, and you can see it in old maps. So it was always a meeting point where people would come from both hemispheres. Um, so this is a bust they found in Roman times of an Indian. They're saying they have this in the Louvre Museum. We found petroglyphs of ships here all over the North America. So, Phoenicians, who are the so-called Phoenicians? Sea peoples, right? Sea peoples, where are they really coming out of? When they're talking about Canaan, the Holy Land, where's the true Holy Land? Or Atlantis, did it all sink? Was it just a myth? And we've proven that it wasn't, and we're still here. A lot of it is still standing, and we're still here. Who are the Phoenicians, the Etruscans, the Guanches, the Maltese people, the Cretans? Who are these people? They're referred to a lot of times as Atlanteans. Who are the Atlanteans? That's in the Atlantic Ocean. So what I'm trying to say is we just gotta open our horizons and think a little bigger. There's books like this, Phoenician Origin of Britons and Scots, Anglo-Saxons, like that's all connected. Who are the Phoenicians again? a lot of Danites and the Phoenicians, a lot of Israelites, a lot of different nations, the sea peoples, and where were they really coming out of? Ireland or the Chaldees, you know? Could this have been an ancient old world land? Yeah, the British Isles was, and that's what we're learning. And the history they tell us about these places is totally off. They're really throwing us off. They give us a few nuggets here and there, and but most of it is myth or legend, and they don't want us to like really think these were real people, real things going on, and they were coming from real places, not just enchanted lands. There's a reason these were enchanted lands. You know, it's deep. So, you know, just want to remind everybody that before we introduce Paul again, who is Queen Teffy? Where's she coming from? You know, what is the stone of destiny or Jacob's pillow that England has? What is all the history behind that? Where were they coming from? And that's what I think that a lot of the stuff Paul's finding is you know is these people, and has been forgotten. You know, this has been covered up in a false narrative of history, just like in America. So, you know, with that said, gonna introduce Paul. Hey, Paul, man, thanks for being on the channel. You know, just go ahead and introduce yourself. It's a pleasure to have you on, man.
Yeah, well, first things first, it's a pleasure being here, mate, and meeting you. What an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Yeah, man. So tell us a little bit about your how did you get into this? What's your story like, and where did it all begin?
Well, it started off about 20 years ago, really. Obviously 9/11, when I suspected things weren't right, you know, when you see like a building in the background on the news saying it's gone down, but it's still standing, you know. And ever since then, I've never let that go. And I've always since then thought, oh, hello, if they're going to lie to us on a scale like that, then they must be lying about loads of stuff. So that's always stayed in my mind. So since then, I've always gone and done my own research independently. So, and where it's took me, I'm 37 years old. I'm 38 next month. So I've been doing plumbing for 15 years. So I've been on building sites and around like building services and stuff like that. And a lot of inside buildings, you know, like structures, before they get, should we say, second fixed and finished up and handed over. So like the shells of buildings. So I'm familiar with them surroundings. Anyway, that's just a little bit. So we went to Malta, and when I was in Malta, we had the pandemic, and I weren't allowed to work anymore. So I had to go. To fill my time up, I just started examining, just walking around sites, looking at ancient sites, and I started noticing stuff that was very peculiar. I noticed that there's similarities in these sites. And then, anyway, I had to go back to England. So the information I learned in Malta, I then thought, well, hello, like, why don't I apply this information to England, you know? So I did. And then as soon as I applied that information to England, I started coming up with all sorts of, I call them nuggets, but they're gems. They're basically buried old world complexes. And they are in England, they're in sandstone. So there is so much sandstone in England that's been buried, and in Malta, it's the limestone, but it's buried. And when I say complexes, I mean they are like the size of cities that have been buried, you know. And that in these complexes, pardon me, let's take Nottingham, which is a city in England. That place, I went on a holiday there, just a little break, you know, like a city break. And I went to 3 tourist attractions there. I went to a castle that was on top of a hill, all right? I went to the City of Caves, and I went on some other underground tour. And then when I come and finished all that, and I started looking at the place on Lidar, because I use the Lidar as well to look for stuff, and on Google Earth, I thought, oh my God, this whole thing is completely connected. It's just been broken up into individual tourist attractions and sold as individual things. And really, it's one humongous complex. So I thought, oh, what am I going to do with this information? So I went back to Nottingham again to examine the stuff. And one thing I will add to this, as we say this, I then started noticing that the stone was artificial. It was man-made stone. This is one thing. This is a completely different topic, but it has to be said now. The stone that we was examining was artificial. What I mean by that, I mean it's sandstone, but it's come from somewhere natural, and it's been broken down and then remolded with chemicals to give it a chemical reaction to cure. So let me give you an example. And So if you go to like Egypt and you've got pillars in Egypt and people say they're carved, in my opinion, I don't believe they're carved. There's a possibility, and it's just my opinion, by the way, that it's probably been cast or poured into some sort of moulding. I have actually got quite a lot of evidence of granite being poured into wooden boxes in Egypt, because I found some pictures from like the late 1800s. And in the background of these pictures was boxes, and they had the granite still sitting in it where they hadn't took it out. I was just like, wow, that's incredible. So anyway, I was going a bit off topic there. So we've got the artificial stone, and that's what I started noticing. And I actually went out of my way to make this, because I thought, well, hello, let's have a go at making this. Like, because I wanted to see if I can make it, I can probably notice other things out when I'm out in sight that I wouldn't notice, you know. So I did that. I went and made granite, and then I went and made some red sandstone, and I went and made another one, but I don't know the name of it. It's just something I made up myself. It's just out of like sodium silicate, which is water glass, and shells from the beach, and it give a chemical reaction, and it sets in it. That's probably the hardest thing I've ever made, as in the strength wise. Like nothing would ever break that. But so then I had this little glue to play with. So when I had that glue that was made out of the sodium silicate and the calcium carbonate shells, I then thought, well, hello, let me just like change the ratio a bit and add a bit of granite, you know. So I did that, and when I did that, I've done it a few times. I've done it a few times, and the most recent time I've done it, which was probably about a year ago, I made a proper bit of granite, and I was casting them in molds. And
feel free to share if you like.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right, let me just hang on.
So I just want to emphasize something, you know, because when you know, you had a background in plumbing and stuff, so you knew what interior of walls look like.
Yes.
That's one thing that I'm like, how did he just put all this together? But you had the experience, and you know, all that adds up. You know, I just want to emphasize that, and how you said, like, also they literally, like you said, they literally covered these places. Like like you're showing your videos, they literally planted trees, and they kept these areas
Yeah.
forested.
Mate, they turn these places into like nature reserves. Campsites is a popular one, because you'll have a campsite, and then in the back of the campsite you'll have like a lump of sandstone just poking out of nowhere with trees all plotted up it. Like it's really obvious when you start to notice it. But I'm just going to get the granite up, so I'll share this. Oh, bear with me. I'm very new to the.
No worries.
Sorry, guys. Right, so I want to share that one. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it says maybe they were built with a 3D printer.
Yeah.
I'm just reading the comments. Yeah, like when you guys start seeing the images, and you'll see, you kind of get an idea. It is like a 3D complex, like these complexes, like the way they build them with these blocks.
How to start? That's not letting me share the screen, mate, which is a bit strange.
So on the zoom bar in the bottom.
Yeah. I want to share. Oh, here we go. It's come up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Sorry about that technical issue.
No worries.
Right. So are you see the screen?
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, we're seeing a pan.
Right. So these are the ingredients for the. Right. So here we go. So this is what I made. So this is sandstone, and it's this is the material of the structures that I'm going to literally show you. So, and this is it close up, and it's literally up. And the reason I've done this was to prove to people that you can do this. It can be done, because you have like I said, Egypt and Lebanon and Libya, all these ancient places have all these stones that people say are impossible to cut, and I'm sitting there saying you don't have to make hard work of this stuff. You know, you can literally ground it down add a couple of chemicals. I won't go into too much detail about it today, but you can add a couple of chemicals and then remold it, and it will set into any shape you want. Like this is what I've done here. So I'll put it into one of these, you know, the Mexican hand with the eye on it.
Yeah.
So I'll put it into one of these. But this is at the bottom, you can see the sodium silicate, because like I said, I was playing with the materials. So at the bottom, this is actually flipped upside down. So because it's out of the mold now. But when it was the other way round, all the water glass rose to the top, and it left pure sandstone at the bottom, which was lovely.
Wow.
Look at that. Yeah. This is the water glass. So that's set. And this was just the reason I've got that, just to show you it's quite similar to what I made. So this is somewhere out on the site. Now this is the granite. This is the granite. But this is the one that failed. I was trying to find the other one. I couldn't find it. I've got over a terabyte, nearly a terabyte of imagery. But I've got loads of videos on YouTube where they're at, but I've just got like trying to locate them because they're in Brucey bonuses. But yeah, I've got the granite here as well. So this is the sandstone, and this is the ingredients for this one here. So here you've got iron oxide, and you've got the sand, and you've got the and you've got calcium hydroxide here, and also what else is here is calcium carbonate. And then I'll add sodium silicate, which is water glass, to that, and then I'll mix it up, and then obviously pour it, and that gives a chemical reaction that sets and cures, and it makes it. It's nothing. It does the same action as concrete. That's the best way to describe it. But it's nowhere near concrete. It's far superior than concrete. So the best way to describe it is it starts off with a conglomerate of materials, and then it will set into wherever you cast it. But the difference with this, it does it in a scientific way, because it's a chemical reaction here that sets off. So it gives it a crystalline structure, and it gets harder over time. That's why we've still got these structures sitting here now, when they're, in my opinion, they're donkeys years old. When I've got a picture when we go for the ones in England, I'm putting it next to Petra, and it's clear, it's crystal clear that Petra seems like it was made yesterday compared to the stuff in England.
Wow, that's what I I agree. You showed some pretty amazing things. Now, just so the people who are not following yet, I just want to say, so basically, there's a lot of so-called sandstone or limestone rock, what they would call hills, mountains, that are actually man-made structures with this type of technology. That's what basically you're finding, right?
Yeah, what I will say is not everything, by the way. I'm not saying every single mountain and limestone. It's not. It's certain ones, and there's a knack to finding where they are as well. Like I said, there's a few things that add to it to work out where they are. But yeah, pretty much. And again, you have to have the natural stuff there to get the materials from to make the artificial stone.
Okay, so that would basically be able to like shape it into anything, any size, and blocks, and what we would call megalithic stones.
Exactly. Okay. So I cast this into a little glove, into a little hand thing like this. Look, I'm quite impatient when I was making these, so I was pulling them out quite early and ripping like the front skin off of them, because I was just impatient. I just couldn't wait to find out like what's going on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's like that. But I'll get the images up now, and I'll show you the places in England that are made of the sandstone, and they're just buried structures. Let me just get this right. New share. Just find.
Yeah, Joe, he has actually a lot of videos on it. He goes, boots on the ground, and he goes to these places, and he's showing us like how literally they're hiding them. They're literally man-made monuments. Like after you watch the videos, you'll see.
It's like something out of Iraq or somewhere like that. You see like, or Lebanon, you've got these ancient sites that are just deteriorating in the desert. It's the same sort of stuff as that. But you just don't expect to find it in England. You just don't. We've been programmed to dismiss this stuff. Do you know the places that I'm going to show you? I've spoke to people that live in that area, and they've said they didn't even notice it. Like they're walking around it and didn't even notice it.
Okay.
Just share this. I'll get rid of that. All right. Sorry, mate. All right. So this one. Trying to find that little bar. There she is. Right, here we go. So this is the sandstone. And what they tell you that these lines are, when you see this out, say on a cliff or somewhere like that, you can say that these are striation marks where the sediment's built up over years and millions of years. But this is in tiny little blocks, as in less than 1 square foot. And here, so these, in my opinion, have been cast, and it's like they've been like squirted out some sort of machine. These little ones here.
Okay.
But this is like, we're going to walk around a structure now called Bridgnorth. Well, the town's called Bridgnorth. And
so just so we could understand, this is supposed to be just like a hill or something.
Yeah, well, this is if you didn't know what it is, it's literally a town built on top of a massive hill. But the hill is actually hiding a structure that's a sandstone structure. Inside this, they've got a transport tunnel in there, so it might have gone from one of these places to another one. The tunnel has been dismantled and disused. I did get in there, but there was nothing in there. It was just a tunnel, and it weren't worth making a video of. And it stopped at the end of the end of this town, so it obviously went to the next one. But yeah, this is the sandstone now, and I don't want to annoy anyone at all, but this is meant like these are striations basically. This is meant to be geology, and this is meant to be where seabeds have over millions of years compact over each other, like over millions and millions of years. But when you start going into these structures, I mean, look at this. Does this look natural to you? The way this is done. Like this is part of, so I'm walking around the structure. So the images you're going to see are me walking around this structure. Bits that are poking out.
Wow. So there's like what you call rendering over it, and that has
there would have been,
off.
yeah.
It has
there would
fallen
have
off,
been.
and because you can see a little bit right there in the corner.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I'm going to show you a bit in a minute. Can you hear the sound?
No, we can't hear a sound.
That's good then. It's good.
Yeah.
Oh. Let me just turn that. Let me just turn my sound off.
So it's like a concrete they're saying, but it's
right?
as Paul said earlier, it's like much stronger than, more like sandstone, like much stronger than concrete.
What's that, mate?
Yeah, they're asking like concrete, I'm like, it's a lot more stronger, as you said earlier.
Yeah, well, I think there's a conspiracy with this. I believe they've told us to add Portland cement and get rid of calcium hydroxide, and that makes a stone a lot weaker, in my opinion. Adding Portland cement, and we're told that it's like some grandeur stone and it's amazing, but it only lasts 100, 150, 200 years max.
Well, that makes sense because I mean, like, no, everything they give us now, it's worthless. Like they build things out of plastic. Things don't last anymore like they used to. They used to build things good. So that makes sense.
And another thing is what they're doing is they're dismantling an ancient site in Portland. This is another part of the thing. I couldn't put that on the on this video because it's too much of a big topic. But Portland is an island off of England, and they're dismantling that and then breaking down all the stone and selling it selling the stone because of how good it is. And they're making lime there as well for the cement. But yeah, this is part of the structure, and these go. And the reason I'm zooming in like that to show you is very close to the stone that I made at home. Let me just show you again, just so you can have a look, and you can see that it's been done in layers as well, sectional layers. Look at that. See, it's just like what I'd done at home. There's no like shells or dead animals in there or anything that you'd find in the bottom of the sea. This is a very clean mix, like it's been sieved and cleaned out, and all the particles have been like proper cleaned. It's not what you'd expect.
Yes.
Now this is one with a bit of render on the wall, like you just noticed a second ago. You can see that. Look, so you've got a bit of render up here. You can see where it is. I pause it because you can see this is it here in the corner. There's a right angle of it here. But so much of the wall has deteriorated And another thing that I've noticed is that this stuff is cast, and they've cast it in sacks and iron sheeting. Here I can show you where they've cast it with the iron sheeting here, but in Malta, where I'm living now, what I've done in England, I'm doing the same in Malta. I think it'd have been a good place to start with England first, obviously, because where our channels do similar research. But yeah, so that there it is.
Wow.
So you can see where this is buried now, because this is an entrance to, this is a door.
Yeah.
So this is what, probably like 6 foot tall. So like 5.5 foot, there's mud up 5.5 foot of this current level.
Wow. So as people know that you've actually gone into these places too. It's not just from the outside. So
yeah, I've gone in, I've documented everything. Everything is documented. It's all on there. And like I was saying off camera, I've got so much of this stuff, it's hard to just pick a little bit, because this is just so much going on.
But that's all right. You know, people, you know, you got the videos up and anybody can take the time to go ahead and go check them out. I mean, they're amazing. I just find it really like, it's just like how it's just right there. And it's just covered up.
Look, blocked up, just hidden. I think I've said this quite a lot lately, but it's the programming from schools. Like, because you get caught early at school, like you're taught to dismiss this stuff. Like you've already learned about it, you know. So this is what we're just walking around. This is one part of it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see. So there's actually water services inside this, like they're running around the wall. I'll actually go into a part in a minute. I can show you. And this is meant to be natural stone. Look, just all on their own individual blocks.
Yep.
Look at that. It's phenomenal, huh? So this is like the corner. I mean, this is meant to be a seabed. Like, this is meant to be the corner of a seabed. You know, it's crazy to think that. How could you even fathom that this point here is meant to be the end of the seabed? And again, look. So this is inside the Star of David.
Somebody.
This white stuff here is the render.
Wow.
They got quite sloppy, and even the same with Malta. There's so much everything was rendered. So they make the stone, like first fix it, like make it with the stone, and it doesn't matter if it's rough already, because it'll get the impurities will get smoothed out with the render, the finishing touch. So look, more render on the wall here. This one's about 1 inch thick. More here.
Wow.
But again, the stone is just clean. It's so clean. I mean, I don't mean like dirt. I mean, there's no marine biology. Like don't want to sound like a broken record.
So that's one big thing that kind of made me, like, when you kept saying that in the videos, that made me, yeah, you're right. Where's all the seashells? Where's all the marine stuff? It's supposed to be, you know, it's not there.
And just some of these angles. I mean, how do you do? Look, so you can see where it's starting to get hidden now. So you've got houses that are backing up onto this stuff, right? So this is another same town, just a different area. And it's, like I said, it's a sandstone that's poking out. But you can see that there's this is their garden, and they've got like a shed in the back that goes into the back of this. And again, you've got other ones here. So next door, this is next door. So you go next door, then here, this is like I believe this is not a garage to park cars in. I believe it's something to do with water or electrics in there, like a substation, I believe. Again, you've got more of it hidden here. And around here. Like, this is people's properties now. That's why the camera shot gets a bit dodgy, because I'm not really meant to be like taking photos or like, I've got to be a bit respectful, you know. So I'm literally walking as close possible as I can and like trying to lean over to get pictures over the fence. But again, you've got more of it here. Blocked up.
So somebody said this is not new, it's 20 years old, and honestly, I've been all over the internet all these years researching, and nobody's ever shown it to me like this, honestly. So
all right, this will knock your socks off then. So this is the same area, but this part's been abandoned, right? So this is in like This is in no man's land. Like this is nowhere. Like you drive up the mountain, up the hill, get out the car. I noticed a bit of sandstone was poking out, so I thought I'll go and have a look.
Hmm.
And obviously there's just an abundant amount of trees there, and I thought, well, hello, something's going on here. And then when I got
So
out,
well, that's the craziest thing about some of the videos that I watched. Like literally, like you just said, like you would see like some kind of hill or sandstone sticking out, and you're like, let me go check it out, and you actually finding it. And that to me was just like,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
I
I
was
know
like,
it's
wow,
crazy, man. I honestly, I pinch myself sometimes. I'm like, how comes I'm the guy like out here? Like, how comes it's me? It's weird. It's very strange. It's like a dream. It's like I'm living a dream, mate. But like, this is a structure. By the way, there's a lot of mud and earth that's been pushed up in here. So the ground level here is different to what it was. So we probably lost about 2 to 3 foot. So I'd have to crouch to go underneath this arch. But you can
yeah.
see that this has been cast in sections. This is sections here on top of each other. And you've still got a bit of render on the wall here. But here.
So this is supposed to be some natural formation in the forest somewhere, right?
Yeah, that's it. But it's all connected to, it's all part of the same thing we was just looking at when I was showing you the same sandstone. Pardon me. It's all the same. It's all in the same area. But this
Wow.
one's just like hidden in the bush. I mean, look at it. Look how much bush is here.
Wow.
I mean, I've got samples of this as well this time. This time I've got samples.
Like I
So,
don't know, like I mean, my eyes don't lie, you know, like I it looks like man-made, right? So there's officially no archaeological information about this at all. Like hey, you
it's just been left to let nature do its thing, mate.
okay?
Let nature swallow it up, you know. Let Mother Nature deal with it.
Hmm.
So
Look
look, a
at
bit of render left in the
that.
corner.
Wow, look at that. Come on, man.
A bit of render left there. There's actually a fireplace or something here as well, but it's just been filled
Wow.
in.
Yeah, I remember this when you were showing this. This is what I mean. Look at that. So what we see when we supposedly see in sandstones, like the bottom part, what's
Mm-hmm.
under the rent. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just look at how those stones on top of each other there on that arch. Wow.
This is the render,
Wow.
and you can see. By the way, looking at that, you can see how it sits on the wall. So you can see that when this was put on there, it weren't flush. It was obviously rough and ready, and I just rendered over it. Like I said, first fix, second fix. This might not be ancient, but it's older than what. This ain't even meant to be here, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's not even meant to be here.
It's not even supposed to be there. That's the point. Like it's just
Yeah, yeah.
Paul's just walking in the forest and he picks up a piece of rendering that came off the wall. Like, come on. Like, look at it, guys. You saw how perfect that looked. And somebody said it does look like your sample.
Yeah, I've got a sample. That's exactly what I've got.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Hope you guys enjoying. Shout out to Jeremiah and Dita, everybody, Tony. Hey,
Yeah, big
welcome.
up everyone.
All of Paul's followers, welcome as well. Hey, McLovin. Hey, what's up?
Yes, big up. So this is where it gets a bit funky. But what I'll do is, you can see the render on the wall here, by the way. All of this is render all up, all up. You can see these like box holes in the wall. Look at this.
Wow. Yeah. That's when I watch your video, that's all I'd be doing. I'd be like, wow. Wow.
It fascinates me. It's almost like a drug, though. You know, it's like it's addictive. It's like you just
Yeah.
want to keep going out and looking.
Look at that. It's like so those parts are covered right there, right? There's like entrances.
Right. Actually, it's funny you pointed that bit out because this bit here is actually a wall that's just
Yeah.
been covered up. The reason they've covered this up is because it's a wall done in layers, slivers, tiny thin slivers. Like this is tactically covered up on purpose, like this, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, look at the angles up here, how they've cast this.
Yeah. Look at that angle. Wow. What is all those things?
Yeah, so these are keyholes. So basically, a wooden framing would have gone here.
Okay.
And it would have created an
Wow.
external housing or structure outside of the sandstone.
Wow.
And that's why the render is on the wall there, because that's the inside of it.
Yeah. So beyond its ancient age, there was throughout the generations, people using the building around it, and they even covered that up. So people wouldn't even go look. Like they didn't want people to even know there was people living in this part of the forest, you know, like. Wow.
Why didn't I go there?
And yeah, and you know, you're pretty brave going into a lot of these places, you know. Even me being in Costa Rica with a lot of bugs and stuff, I just like
Oh, mate, do you know what
crawling through
scares
places
me?
and everything, man. Like you're brave, man. You're braver than me, man. Like I couldn't go. I'm a big claustrophobic too, so like, yeah.
Oh, cheers. I'll take that, but I do honestly. I'm so scared when I do it. I'm so scared. It's just I know that I've got to produce a nugget for the YouTube family. You know, I have to do it.
Yeah, yeah. So you guys got to go subscribe and support.
So here you can see like quite a few of these are blocked up going along here,
Wow, look at that entrance. Yeah.
and you can see this is like 4 to 5 foot of earth that's been pushed up against this.
So like this one is not official, but you know, there's ones that are actually closer to cities, and so they would say that those are caves, right? That people dug.
Right. Yeah. So in Nottingham and Liverpool, they are actually humongous macro like the size of city complexes that have been buried. They've got everything. The whole city has been built on top of them. But more the render. But yeah, I'll show you. What I'll show you. Look at that. Look at that. It's moving natural.
Look at that.
And what's even ironic here, I don't know if it's on this clip, I'll show you. There's actually an iron sheet that's acting like a lintel. Here we go. You see the iron sheet?
Wow.
This is iron. You can see how like a little bit of the stone's broken off here, and you can see it's going further back. So the questions are, if this is natural, why is there an iron sheet in there? Why is there an iron sheet that's going back, acting like a lintel to support the weight from above?
Yeah. So you found residue, copper residue, you know, as well, and so like you think they had wires going through and everything, right? Like
yes, 100%. That's collecting some sort of energy somehow from somewhere from the top of the structures, because I find this quite a lot.
Yeah.
Quite a lot that there's cables coming from the top with copper oxide.
Okay, and I just want to emphasize something that a lot of people don't really think about. The richest copper in the world that was mined, and they found the ancient mines in Michigan. 500,000 tons or millions, I don't know which, but I think tons of copper were mined. They don't know who, but like you know, people who research, we know we're supplying copper to the rest of the world from Americas. So that's what I'm saying. There's an interconnected history here.
Yeah, that's crazy, mate. That's crazy. But by the way, like these imprints here, like something specific has to go there. You don't just cut these for no reason. You know, something specific went there. But what I'm doing in Malta at the minute is actually exposing all the building services that are running around like macro starfaults in Malta, and it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Now, let me try and find.
Wow, look at that.
That's the end of that one. Right, so I'm going to get the next one up for you, mate.
No worries.
I sort of understand this thing now. So I'll show you Nottingham. So the tunnel that outskirts the city of the caves of castle. All right.
Yeah, if you can, because it's not allowing me to put links. I don't know why. If you can, just write something in the chat, so people can click on your name and go subscribe and things like that.
Right. Chat.
I also have the link in the description of the video, just in case. But
easy tigers. Everyone, was that right? Oh no, no.
All right, Joe's gone. Joe, you're out of here, man. Joe, I knew you were I know you were being subliminal.
So did that go to everyone? Did it? I don't know if I better do it, mate. Let me get a link, because I'm doing it on the. I think I've just sent it to you, mate. I've sent it to you like the wording. Like, I don't think I have access to the chat, do I?
What's going on here, man? Yeah, I hope somebody didn't, you know, hide you, like, when you were going through your thing. I'll make sure of that, but the link is in the description of the video, guys. It is there, and make sure to go and subscribe to Paul, and we'll get that fixed. We did have a troll here. He's gone.
It's crazy, isn't it? These people.
Yeah.
Really is. Right, share that. That's what I want to share. That one. Okay, hang on this now.
Okay.
Right. So this one, like you just mentioned, you said that some of them are actually that you've actually got cities built on top of them. This is one of them. So this is one part of it that's poking out of the ground, and what they've said this part is the it's the grounds of the castle. And you can see here that there's a few entrances going in. It gets even funky around the side. So I'm just gonna play the videos.
Wow.
So again, this is sandstone, by the way. You've got houses connected to it.
So the house is right next to it.
Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine living next door to that.
So it must have a tunnel going into it.
100%. You know for a fact. There's even a tunnel over the back here going in like even further into the sandstone. This image reminds me of something like Iraq anyway. I mean, here's the houses. So these are sitting in front of it. These ones I think are actually attached to it.
See, when they made their cartoons, Warner Brothers and all that, they show us Stone Age people living what looks like this, but that's not what it looked like when they were living on it, and it wasn't it wasn't natural. And these were advanced people, so they always want us to think, like these savage people, not in the sea here. Everything started, with their Mesopotamia, Egypt, not in the sea here,
They give us like a history. Go and explore that. It's all in the books,
Yeah.
Nothing to see here. Exactly that. This is all in the same ground, so I'm standing in the same spot, by the way, and I'm just like looking around like that, taking pictures in the same spot. And you're not allowed in here, by the way. I'm actually standing in front of the railing taking these photos. And this is just one part of this is one part. There's a door there as well, which is underneath a tourist attraction, which is the castle of Nottingham. And then underneath that, you've got the City of Caves, which goes inside this complex, and it's meant to be the biggest cave complex in England underground, and it's under the whole of Nottingham. See, I was standing behind the railing.
Wow.
Just looking, because you're not allowed to go up to it and have a look for some reason. And another thing about this, they spent £33 million 2 years ago renovating the castle. And then last year, the castle closed because for some reason it just closed. And I thought, well, what about the 33 million you spent on it? Again, same area, just walking around it.
So they spent 43 million to hide it.
Yeah, what were they? Yeah, it's I don't know what they've done with the money. It's probably a lie, to be honest with you. Like the 33 million, 33.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 33. There you go.
So it's a newspaper article. Yeah, 33 million renovated. But before, the images you see before, I was standing where the mouse is. Now I've just walked about, I don't know, 30 meters down here to see this. Let me play again. So it's all the same. It's all the same structure, all of it. Like everything you're about to see from this particular file is the same. It's all the same building, just different parts of the town. This is the same as this bit, by the way. It's just another angle.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just it's amazing.
It's mad. So that's outside the castle. If I go to the City of Caves, this is underneath now. This is underneath where we was just at. So I'll share
I
that.
mean, just from watching your videos right there in England, it just seems like this is everywhere. Like, so people just walking by it, just this thing is some like dug out little caves and stuff, or
Yeah.
okay.
It's a tourist. These are tourist attractions. So this one here, this complex has been broken up into loads of different tourist attractions.
Mm.
And oh, there she is. So we're underground now. That was the tip of the complex that I was showing you there. That was like, I think that was the highest point in Nottingham as well, like underneath the castle. So this is inside now. Now this looks somewhere
Wow.
like, I know. And again, you'll see like, I won't go too much to the geopolymer about like how to notice it, but you will notice joint marks along here. And another thing I've noticed from here and other places that I've noticed this, especially in Malta, they cover the joints up. So they put some sort of like, not concrete, but it looks like a grey concrete over the joints to cover it up.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this again. Look at this. Like, this looks like Turkey or something, no?
Yeah.
I can't zoom in on that one. Like, this is the joints. They're covering up the joints with this stuff. And when you again, you can see this is very clean mix. It's just another part of the tourist attraction. And again, like a lot of these places, you're not allowed to. You have to stick to a strict little route, you know. So I like to go at the back, so I can just like wander off a little bit, not too far, just a few meters off, and just take pictures like this. Because like, where is this going, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I look at it. And again, like I don't know. Some people might say it's cut out. I don't believe these are cut. I believe these is cast in sections. I mean, look at this little feature here.
Yeah.
This interlocking. You see this a lot with the block work, especially in Malta. I believe it's done for like structural purposes, in case
Yeah.
you know something
It's
goes
it,
wrong.
it's exactly what is done. Like we find that in Peru,
Yeah.
and the walls are still standing because of that.
Exactly. And again, by the way, what I will say about this is even though we've gone underground here and we're in the City of Caves underground in Nottingham, it's not actually underground. We're just inside the complex and we've gone in underneath the current ground level. Does that make sense?
Yes, very
So
much
we're
to
not
me.
actually underground. We're just inside the complex under the current ground level that's been created for us because they buried everything.
Wow.
Again, like blocked up down here. Like I wonder what goes on after that. Like sectional pillars. Like there's no tool marks on this or nothing. It's just lines like it's been cast. Again, look at this section like that, doing that. Let's do that again. That's a good image. There we go.
Wow.
Mad, isn't it? And it's just been cast on top of each other because what they do is, and it's one of the tricks they use in Egypt. So they sit there with a bit of paper, don't they? And they go, you can't even fit a bit of paper between the joints, right? Because mystery sells, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So if they keep it a mystery, then they're going to sell. They're going to keep selling. But really, it's where it's been cast directly on top of each other. That's why you cannot fit a bit of paper between it.
Just like Sacsayhuaman, Peru.
Exactly.
So
This is
this is, according to what you're realizing and finding, concluding, this was a worldwide thing, right? Like it's not just
so
in
far.
England. It's
So
not,
yeah, that's what I believe so far. But again, it's only my opinion. But it's been 100% where I've gone so far. So I'd say it's got to be worldwide, hasn't it? And I strongly believe it's pretty much where sandstone and limestone is. So if anyone sandstone or limestone, and there's a water supply close, then I'd start digging, having a look.
Wow.
Look. So I don't know what these are for, but again, this is underneath the prop of a castle, inside the complex that I was just showing you when I was standing outside looking over the gates. So we're inside it, and this was inside. I don't know what they're for though. I don't know.
Could that be like
Cleaning? I don't know. I wouldn't even
like
have a clue.
you know the what was it, the salt baths you found over there in Malta, like this, but it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
actually battery for batteries, like energy.
Oh yeah, do you know what? That's absolutely crazy, mate. That's absolutely crazy because Tony Taylor, a friend of mine, was saying that the salt pans in Malta is a high possibility they could be generating and storing electricity.
I was seeing that, it made a lot of sense, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
wow.
and now you've just mentioned this here under here, and I'm thinking, well, I've always thought, what is this? It doesn't even look like it should be doing anything, and I've always said it looks like salt pans, but that little bit was missing. So that could be a possibility. They could be storing or generating power with salt. So the complex at this part has been buried, like they've literally just built directly over this part.
So is that the building on top of it? That's the house
Yeah,
or the castle?
yeah.
Okay.
So this is the city centre, which is directly over top of it.
Okay.
There we go. And you've got the pipes that are serving the buildings above. So imagine being the plumber. You've come down to fit the pipes down here. Wouldn't you like? And this isn't even open to the public yet. And you're coming down here seeing all this ancient stuff. Wouldn't you be asking questions?
Yeah.
I mean, look, you can see it's literally, there's probably about a meter between the top of this structure here and the bottom of the concrete of that building.
Wow.
Mental, isn't it? So these are quite old videos, these, by the way. That's why
Yeah.
my camera skills are not that great. I have got a little bit better. Again, you can see here, it even looks like ancient stairs there, you know, like the stairs that
Wow, they left
but then you've got the concrete building directly on top.
going right into the yeah.
Again, look, this particular complex just reminds me of Turkey. I feel like, is it Deri? That's the feeling I get in this place. Like you've got all these little like tunnels and entrances coming off of it, going all sorts of places. And look.
So people time, throughout time have actually lived in these places, homeless people or wherever, migrants, whoever, people needed a place. So you run into that a lot, right? You run into
yeah, I've a few times I've seen it. I've met the same guy twice in one place. Twice. He was an illegal immigrant and he was literally in an abandoned house, and to get to this cave, this entrance to this cave that had a river in it, or no, not a river, like a water supply in it, we had to go through this house because it is in the back of the garden, like to get to it. And this guy, I think he is from Libya. So I'm walking through this abandoned house and it's just full of like rubbish, like crisp packets and Coke bottles and all plastic bottles and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, this guy's rose up with his hands like a mummy like that. And he's gone, bro, have you got a cigarette, bro? And I was like, at first, I absolutely, like, my heart went. But then I realised I was all right, I was safe. But I was like, no, mate, sorry, I haven't. But the same thing happened twice.
All he was worried about was the cigarette.
Yeah, he just wanted a cigarette. He was laying in the rubbish, laying down on the rubbish. Like, I didn't know he was there till he moved. But yeah, I see him twice. And the second time I see him, he'd done the same thing. He asked me for a cigarette. I was like, nah, I ain't got one, man.
Man, sounds like the Undertaker.
Yeah. But this is the complex that is buried underneath the under the castle. Now I'm going to show you bits around the town that have been like just dismissed. All right, let's get that there. Let me share.
No worries. Hope you guys enjoying. This is amazing stuff. I don't know if how many of you is the first time seeing his work, but I know a lot of people probably shown this stuff and had their own conclusions and all that. But the way he's kind of explaining it, more logical, more not just so mythical, where we can just gotta just believe. We can kind of see it with our own eyes. So that's that's why I like Paul's work, because I can kind of like use my own eye and kind of pursue the research on my own visually. I can go look for stuff, based on what I'm learning.
Wait, mate, thank you. Nice to hear that. Yes. So this is another part of the same structure in the same city, by the way. And what they say about this stone is it's so weak that it falls apart. Yet they've built a student accommodation on top of this. Student accommodation is where they house almost 1,000 students. So it's like an accommodation. It's a massive complex, housing complex, modern. But this is directly underneath it.
Mm.
And they've built the modern student accommodation directly on top of this. So look at this. This is the same structure, by the way.
Wow.
It's just another part of the town. Not
Those are,
far.
so those are like blocked in areas, I would say, like entrances or something, maybe.
Definitely. Definitely.
Bricked up. Wow.
But that's quite a common feature, actually. When you see a small one next to a big one, that's quite a common feature. Like, well, this was a smaller and a big one again. Look, again, blocked up. This is very close to where the last video was. Like, basically, let me tell you, the way these videos are done, I'm walking from A to B, and it's not far. So I'm probably walking about 20 meters, and I'm recording as I'm going along. So each video, I've probably walked about 3-4 meters. So you know what's behind all that anyway. If you see that, then you know what's behind all that.
So like when you're traveling like between these places and monuments, they're not like right next to each other, or how far is the farthest from each other? Like how far have you gone in England?
The furthest I went, well, I know it's all the way up to Edinburgh. I know Edinburgh. There's stuff in Edinburgh. I could tell you, like, it's the same sort of blueprint like that I use. It's got the sandstone up there. You've got the water supply. Everything's been buried as well. You've got tourist attractions up there that are underground cities in the sandstone. So that's another big clue. And that place is called Gilmerton Cove. I did actually book to go there, but they shut the place down. They said they're renovating it, and I was like, typical.
Yeah.
But I've been up and down the country. It seems to be all on the west side as well. Seems to all be on the west side.
Okay. And do you think you would find all this in Scotland and Ireland?
Scotland, 100%. The main thing is there has to be sandstone or limestone close.
Okay.
That's the first thing. If there's no sandstone or limestone, then there's going to be nothing in that area. Not only in relation to what I'm talking about. There could be other things that other people are looking for, but not what we're looking at. So this is literally me walking around the back of someone's houses now.
Yeah.
You've got a door there. Look at this. What? Look at the line. Like it's like sectional, isn't it?
Yeah. They didn't have to build foundations for these places. They were already there.
Look at that dodgy bit of work. They just put an iron bar up there.
Yeah.
And then just put the block work on it, the bricks. Nothing to see here, is there? Just move along. So this is around the back of someone's house, or like a block of apartments.
Yeah.
You'll see, like, I come out, boom. And all this is just all over it. And then you've got this lot here.
Yeah, look at that.
And then you've got the student accommodation directly above it. So this part here keeps on going. You can see that it keeps on going down here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They didn't even have to build a foundation. They already have it.
Exactly, mate. And I'll tell you what I've just thought of there. As soon as you said that, this is a student accommodation. This is where my plumbing brain comes in. Think of all the people. Say if there's 1,000 people in this complex up here, living students, they all need to go to the toilet. Where is that waste going? They must be connecting to the ancient waste here, you know?
Yeah.
They must be connecting to the ancient services. Look, here we go. This is a good shot of that there. You can see the accommodation on top. And like I mentioned, this is meant to be so weak, this sandstone, that you can't do nothing with it. Yet they've built a massive structure directly on top of it.
Wow.
And again, I have another theory for this line that runs around it, by the way. And in all my Maltese videos, this is what I'm talking about. And I've found loads of it, like there'll be pipes or cables running in these lines.
Yeah.
But we'll save that for another day, because that's a whole new topic. So look, that's me stepping back. So we went around the back of this house. I showed you the entrances around the back there. We've got the castle on the left-hand side of us. That's got all the stuff buried underneath it. Plus you've got the city of caves here. And then you've got this lot here. And there's one more thing to show you. There's one more thing to show you. What way am I going? Look, and this is just houses. So they've chopped down the sandstone, put these like tile like things down, whatever they are, and then put the bricks on top.
Yeah. Is that a that tunnel right there?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
I was just fast forwarding it. There we go. So this is the sandstone tunnel. But this is obviously an original tunnel. The backstory to this tunnel is that it was cut for horse and cart, right? It was cut specifically for horses and carts to go through. But the gradient of it wouldn't allow horse and cart to go down it at the end of it.
Yeah.
So they couldn't use it. And I thought, well, that's a bit of a
yeah, it's just like
story, you know.
One of those things that don't make sense, you know, when they one of those historical narratives that don't make sense, you know.
That's it. Yeah, this is it. I've got quicker to show you. I've got still images. Here we go. Look at this. The idea gets really mad.
Yeah, look at that. And you could obviously see the weathering too and everything, you know.
Yeah,
All that is, yeah.
Well, on the left, when it pans around in the left in a minute, the blocks acted with the stones. Look at this. Look what's happened here.
Oh, wow. Oh man.
What has happened there? This bit's got stones in it, this one, but no shells, just stones.
Yeah, where's the seashells?
But one thing is, like they must be spraying something over this stuff. They must be, because see how I rubbed that then and it was falling apart. Wow. So how is like how did they build a student accommodation building on top of the last load of images? You know.
Yeah.
Like they must be spraying certain parts of this to make it weak. This is just, these are blocks here.
Yeah.
This is where it's just been cast on top of each other. These lines
so these right corners are supposed to be natural.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying. So all right. So like when people see this, because that looks like, if anything, somebody would have at least chipped it to look like that, right? But
yeah,
it's not chipped.
Yeah. And these lines, basically, these lines here, right? Can you see the mouse?
Yeah.
Right, these lines here are the joint marks, right? So this is when they cast that block, and they cast this one on top of that one, right? All these lines, I believe, are whatever was holding this in place, because these lines don't go all the way through the stone, and you'll see that in a second. Because if these in geology, these are called striations.
Yeah.
And they go back apparently, but look, as soon as you get rid of some of the stone, you can rub them off. Look, they're gone here. They're gone. You can see partially there, they're faded away. So they're not striations because they're not going all the way through the rock. So it's something that's holding it in. It's an imprint of something that's holding it in. Because it's quite flush, that wall there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's deteriorated there a bit.
And it goes more down, right? Like it looks buried.
But there's also another thing I've noticed, mate. There's a massive cover up in England as well. There's a lot of red sandstone that I've actually got a whole folder for, where they've covered it up with another material. So I've even gone into a cave and I've like even some mines, and I've just like looked, shone my torch around, and I've noticed a bit of red sandstone like through a crack. So I go over to the corner and I start peeling off the wall, and there's red sandstone behind it. It's like they've smeared some sort of like concrete over it to hide the fact that it was a sandstone structure. Yeah. Nottingham, a tunnel. Yeah, it just looks at that. So let me show you.
Yeah, welcome. If you just join us, we got Paul showing his amazing research, boots on the ground in England.
Let's go here. So I'm going to share that. But this is a place called Liverpool. It's a city, and it's a place called Helsby, which is inside the city. Now you can see the red sandstone here. This is very funky. This gets very. Like this end.
Wow, look at that.
Oh no, and mate, this is meant to be a quarry, by the way. This is another thing about the research that I do. Not all quarries, well, they're all quarries. They all end up quarrying stone, but I think they kill two birds with one stone. I believe they're getting good quality stone, but getting rid of an ancient site at the same time.
Yes. So that's something that I noticed, like but Paul has a great back chat on the Telegram. A lot of good information gets shared there. I learn a lot from different things that get shared, and that was one of the things about quarries that we've noticed. And a lot of the quarries look man-made. They like these blocks. It's like if people start Googling, you'll still see what I'm talking about. Like most of the quarries look kind of the same, like these megalithic walls, and like also like the ancient mines. Maybe you're saying like they take out the blocks.
Yes, that's exactly it. And like I said a minute ago, I was in one of the mines, and it was red sandstone underneath some other material.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a big cover up with this. So they're quarrying stuff, and they're covering up what they've left.
Mm.
I'm just trying to get this up now. What's happened there? This won't. Oh, here we go. So is that sharing, right?
Yeah, I see the
Right.
gate.
Yeah.
And
So this is you can see this is another part of the structure. They're all the same. When you start noticing them, they're all the same, and you can see similarities in them. So this is again the red sandstone. There's a lot of mud pushed up. This is in a quarry. You're not allowed in here. It's been barred off, and it's got a load of trees growing down, a load of like bush growing down it. So you can see how high it is.
Wow.
Massive blocks here, humongous. So this was filmed on my phone, so it's like the lighting was very good, and this is like a few years old.
Oh, it's still good. Yeah. Wow, look at that. Look how it wow, look how it the curve.
Yeah. But again,
So
I believe this would have been rendered. This is part of a complex. This is why
but
you've got these scratch marks on them.
now everybody can see the curve, right? Now this is supposed to be some natural rock in the forest.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's all part of the same complex. This isn't a quarry in the forest.
Yeah.
Like everything here is in the same area. So look at this. Look at this. Like, what's happened? Just a big blob sandstone block. Crazy, yeah. And here,
Oh, wow, look at that.
yeah, I know, it's mad.
It's so that's like a natural park reserve, you're saying? This one right here?
This is meant to be a quarry.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, you told us. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I didn't mean it. I didn't say it. I mean, as in like a wow. It's like meant to be a quarry, man. Look at it. It's like just looks like it's just been a dismantled complex. I mean, this shot here is just unbelievable. What's funny about this is like a ledge, and you can see that this is like megalithic blocks that have been
Yeah.
cast. This is a separate block, this L shape, completely separate to this. And another thing that I will say is when you get down here, all this bush that you can see here goes up about 6 foot. So when you're on like some sort of ground level down there, there's a service that runs around the whole of the wall. I believe it's like a water pipe that went in a wall, because you see it, look here, in along here. And it goes behind the plate. This is just exactly like I found in Malta, by the way. All of this stuff is in Malta. So they put the pipes or the cables inside the wall. They put a plate over it, and then they render over it, and you don't even know it's there.
Wow.
This is a wall. This is a wall. So this is about 4 inches thick that she's standing on. This is in the same area as this. Like literally, I've just turned around and took a photo. And this is meant to be a quarry. I don't think a stone's actually been taken out of here, like to be used as a new building. I reckon they've just like smashed something up in here and then just put probably the stones down on the beach somewhere and let nature just dissolve it. But this is a wall here. And again, look at this. Look at this. It's just mental. I believe that this side looked like this at one point, all flush. But it looks like someone's just done something to it just to make it look like it's not natural, to make it look natural, you know?
Yeah.
It's just crazy, isn't it? That's
Yeah, that's amazing stuff.
Now I've got this other thing as well to show you, like this flower of life. Hang on, so this is in Liverpool again. So like I said, these are complexes. So when you know where there's a complex in the area, you can then just go around and start picking up the nugs, basically. And again, you've got this line here. So that tells me a service went in there. This is in the grounds of a cathedral. But I'll show you what it looks like on the Lidar in a minute. Very weird. It's just sheer walls, sheer sandstone walls. And again, if this is this is a common not mistake, but a common feature you see in geopolymer, by the way. And it's when it doesn't fully pack out the mold, or the boxing, or the shuttering, or the framing, or whatever was used at the time. So it leaves like these little squidge marks, I call them, little air pocket holes. So that's a common feature. And when you see that, you pretty much know that, because if that's cut, if this has been cut with hand tools or even power tools, why would you cut that hole in there? And even if you started to cut it, you'd know there'd be a mistake and you'd stop. So this is a blocked up entrance in the same area. It's actually just behind these trees here, but this goes further back. Again, it's the red sandstone that you can see, but for some reason they've sprayed it black. I don't know why, but it's red sandstone under there. Wow. Red sandstone. And you can see that looks cast in layers as well. You can see it's in layers.
That corner, that right angle right there.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And they've just put so many tombstones down here as well. As in, like, so there's some sort of respect down there, so you don't like disrespect anything or start pulling things apart.
What about the black? So why does it look, what's your take on why it's black?
I think they must have just painted it. It looks like
paint. I think that's what I was gonna ask you. Did they paint that and make it look gloomy and stuff like?
Mate, look at this part. It's the same part. It's like they got community service down there, mate. A bunch of criminals to go and paint it in the dark.
Oh man,
look at it. But it's a red sandstone. You can see the red sandstone underneath here, even here. So this is like everything I've been showing you, apart from Nottingham. That was just yellow sandstone.
That looks a little bit like your sample.
Yeah. This is another part. This is in the same area, just like some stepped part, just
Yeah.
red sandstone again underneath. This was quite funky. I found quite interesting that it was here. Like they call it a millstone, don't they? And they say this is made out of again a sandstone called gritstone. But another story. Again in Liverpool, just like I showed you in Nottingham.
Wow. That
Complex. They just
almost looks like Cusco.
yeah, well, they just build on top of it.
Yeah, how they build on top of it.
Look at that. That's rainwater, by the way. But you know, like imagine building this. Like imagine being a bricklayer laying these bricks on this. Like, wouldn't you want to know? Like, I'd say, can't you chop it down and put it level for me? Like, why did you have to keep that here? It's weird, isn't it? But you know, it goes down in the geopolymer as well.
Yeah.
This is the same area. This is all the same area, by the way. This is all the same area. So these are the tombstones that we're talking about. For some reason, this side's all green.
So what's their explanation for that cave, for that tunnel?
I don't know what the explanation is for this. I really don't know.
More carts?
No, this is just meant to be a graveyard. That's all it is. But the way these tombstones are stacked, there's no way this is to respect anyone who's deceased, you know?
I wonder how many levels of graveyards there is there historically.
Yeah. But you can see this is where we were showing, this is the black bit that's been painted black, but on this side it's green. So this part here, you can see how close it all is this part here, yeah? So that is that here. And then just on this part here, you've got entrances going back that go under the city here through this red sandstone block.
Under the city, okay.
And this is the entrance coming into there. So you're coming from the cathedral at the top and you're walking down. Look, this is yellow sandstone here, but they've painted this part black. And you can see where they've chopped this down here in so they could do the block work on top. But again, they've just littered the walkway with these tombstones.
Could that be two different time periods? Because that looks pretty big.
Yeah, mate, it's a high possibility, mate. Very high possibility. I don't really rule nothing out. What's happening? I don't like to rule nothing out, really.
Yeah.
Oh, what's happening?
That don't look like there are no more brick. That still looks a little big, like big stone.
I'll show you what that place looks like on the Lidar then. So this is one of my tools that I use, and this helps me out unbelievable, by the way.
Yeah, that's when you show
this confirms. This one confirms to me. Like this one says, yeah, Paul, this is where it's at. So once it passes all the ticks, I'll then get the Lidar out, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So this is what we was just. Sorry, mate.
I wanted to tell everybody, Paul has a technique. Like he's mastered how to find these places, you know. So that's what he's explaining. And so like this lidar helps a lot. Like when he shows this, like you can actually see the formations.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So, sometimes I'll just talk really quick because I get too excited. So thanks for that, mate. Just explain it a bit better for me. So yeah, this is me scanning the ground now. I'm not scanning it with a drone or anything. I'm using an application on the phone. But you can see all the cavities. You can see, you can just see the shapes of things and irregular shapes as well. Things that don't seem like they should be there. Like this is all, I believe, part to do with the train. But this is the section we was just in. This was the section we was just in, and here is the cathedral built on top of it. And that's that little tunnel we was on about. Remember saying that blocked up tunnel?
Yeah.
So the LiDAR actually shows that it is a tunnel going back underneath the city. But the questions are, this has all been built directly on top of this. So I believe it's just going back into the geopolymer complex. And we've just, well, not we, but the current civilization have built directly on top of it and blocked it all up. But look, this is going down now. So this is that area. So I actually, when I was up in another place up north, see there, I'd go and check, where is that on there? I'd check that bit out as well.
Wow.
So you don't have to be an expert, like, because your mind will just tell you that don't look right, you know, and you'll just start investigating, and then you'll find something. But I was doing the same. I was doing something very similar. I was in
You have the somebody said you might find examples of ancient writing. I know you have one with the flower of life.
Yeah, I'll get that for you now. I'll get that for you now.
Um, that one was pretty amazing.
All
Like
right.
it just makes no sense why it's there. Like,
No. Right, I'll share this one. This knocked my socks off. I think it's just decoration for the road, but we'll find. That's only my opinion. So this here, by the way, is the screen sharing.
yes.
Right. So this part here has been done with an angle grinder at a very recent date. And one thing I've noticed about these ancient sites is they put mockery things next to it to sort of discredit what you're looking at, to make you almost think that what you're looking at, there's a possibility that it's rubbish, basically. But when you see the scale of this and what it really is, you're going to be like, wow. And then you're going to laugh at this. So again, this is in the sandstone. And I'll keep mentioning that because that's important, because that's where, in my opinion, this all this ancient stuff is.
Wow, what is?
But here we go. That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's quite big as well. And it's red sandstone. That's my boot there. My boots on the ground boot. Look at that. That's phenomenal. And do you know what? What's mad about that is, like, as soon as you look at that from a side angle, you can't even see it no more. Like, it's done like on uneven ground, but that looks absolutely flat and perfect to us there.
Yeah.
But the wall is actually so messed up.
That reminds me of what is it, cymatics?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So, yeah, you're saying this is just on the trail in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, look, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. So I'm just like, I noticed there was something on the Lidar around the area, and that's when I was like, huh, let's have a look here. And that's when I noticed this part. It literally on this corner was something funky. There's actually a complex around the corner to this that is in a humongous sandstone structure. And I managed to get inside of it, and there was geopolymer walls.
Yeah, so you got it on the video you showed that, right?
Yeah, I've got everything, all the stuff I've got documented.
Yeah. And he actually, it's not just images, guys. He's actually showing you the video, walking through it, talking what he's seeing. Like it's pretty good.
Yeah, let me try and find one then. Hang on, give me a second. Just give me a second. Flower of life. No, not in them. Is that one? No. It's all on my external stick, man. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
But we could do it again. Like, and another thing is, mate, I've actually got a video that I was going to ask you because it explains a lot. Maybe you could show it to your audience. Actually, I can play it now.
Yeah, you know, like what you told me. Yeah, I definitely could do that. No problem.
All right. Yeah, we'll do that then. We'll do that. But I'll share this now because this is me walking through. But this has got no sound.
Okay.
So this is one of the complexes. This is up north. And what I'm saying here is all these lines are you'll see in a minute. These are bald marks, by the way, where it's been cast. So they build a frame and then they pour the cast over it. So this is so I climbed to the top of one of these because I'm saying that these are being cast and they're poured out of some sort of machine where they're squirting it out, right? And I'm saying it's like almost like it's 3D printed. It's like an old world version of 3D printed. So I thought, if I get to the top of these and I see these swell marks, then surely that's going to prove what I'm saying to be right. Yeah. And that's what I've done. That's exactly what I've done. So again, this is the image of Nottingham. Oh, wicked. So remember I was saying to you about Nottingham, and I just showed you all that stuff. So this was it. I laid it all out on the map just to show you the bits.
Okay, so the whole thing is a complex.
Yes, buried.
Okay. And it looks, man, it's just like.
But by the way, can I just butt in here? This was the one I was showing you at the front at the start. Yeah. You know, with the castle underground. This was the image I was looking for.
Yeah.
And apparently, this has got the most condensed amount of caves in the United Kingdom in this city. Ironically. So yeah, this image here is just amazing because it doesn't back up what I'm saying, but it's a good evidence of what I'm saying. So now this is another complex here, and this is like 3D printed. So this is what I'm showing you.
Yeah.
And this is why these stones look like this, and this is why that block looked like that, because it's been 3D printed. It's been squirted out. You can see. Can you see that wood here, by the way? So these are wooden frames. So like I said,
wow, look at that.
They build a wooden frame. So they build a box, and then you pour. I'll say it in a very basic term. They build a box out of wood, and then they pour a mixture over it. Yeah. This is what you're seeing here. You can see that another bit of wood has been put in here. So you go inside and you take all the wood off. Then you're left with these imprints. And also on top of that, you can see the calcium, the lime, leaching out of the joints as well. But in my opinion, it seems like this box was failing, because it looks like at the last minute someone might have come and put a plank of wood in here, because it goes over these 3 panels, which is quite interesting. I found that very, very interesting.
Yes.
And again, so like I said, 3D printed, but not actually 3D printed, you know, like modern, but like this is like come out of some sort of machine. So they've put all the materials in the machine, and it's come out like this. And this is what they've done. This is a smaller scale of the macro that I'm showing you.
Wow.
This is just showing them that limestone and sandstone, when you melt it, vitrifies.
Wow.
So it turns to glass. It doesn't melt, it turns to a glass.
Wow.
Because of the silica content. And it's the same with granite as well, by the way. This is what happens to it. So when someone sits there and tells me that the work that I'm presenting is melted stone, it's very far from it, because sandstone vitrifies, turns to glass, just like the bottom there. Okay. Just showing you. I don't want to annoy anyone, because I know there's a lot of people that are into melted stuff, but I'm just I promise you, I'm not trying to annoy anyone. Just showing you that is what happens when you melt sandstone. It vitrifies. So again, the only way you get this block like this, and again, this is around it. This is ancient, by the way, and this is ancient down here. But they've decided to build a house around this part here.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to get this like this is if it's come out of a machine. No, like some sort of ice cream machine. I'm going to sound like a child saying it, but like an ice cream machine. You know, like when it just comes out, like squirting out. Like how else are you going to get it like that? So it must have been in a box anyway. And it must have just kept putting it in like a layer upon layer inside this box.
Yeah.
Unless there's another explanation for it. Like, would you have an explanation for it?
That sounds pretty logical. That's what I'm saying. You gotta kind of like.
You wouldn't carve all these lines into it, would you? You wouldn't do all that.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. So like and again, like I said, this was a little miniature wall.
And I'll be honest with you. That's to me, that's what Giza is. To me, it's not megalithic.
No, it's exactly. But this has been cast. So this is a little wall, and do you know what? I've noticed this has been done a lot of times. So they cast a little tiny wall that's about 3 foot high maximum, and probably about 6 foot long, and it creates 2 spaces. And I've noticed this in so many places in the West Midlands, and all they've done is just put loads of bush over it to cover it up. But this absolutely proves to you that this is cast, because if this is natural, then why is this going the opposite way? And why is this a miniature seabed? You know, that's just built up over like 240 million years, a little sliver of a seabed. This is an independent block that's about 3 foot by 6 foot. And it's just been covered up. And it's like the last image I showed you. It's been done. Look at it. That's it. That's it there. It's come out of some sort of machine. It's like squirted out. So, and again, I showed you Liverpool, right? Nottingham. With Nottingham is at the tunnel. Look how this looks. And then when you look at 3D printed houses, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely bonkers.
Wow.
Like I've not got the sound on this, because maybe you could put this on there with the sound, because I can just skip through this. but this is a very good video
Yeah, definitely. We can definitely do that. I can premiere it for everybody.
So this is it. So this is the one I climbed to the top of, all right?
Wow.
And this is the one when I found that like it had been squirted out at the top. So this is one of the complexes. Skips forward a bit.
They just kind of want you to picture Flintstones.
And yeah, exactly.
And these are advanced people, though. Advanced.
So this is how I believe it's done, but obviously not coming out of someone's hand.
Yeah.
Out of like a bag, but out of some sort of machine. Maybe they've set up like a frame and they can just like pour it into a bag and it comes out like this. Something like this, but an old world version. Like you'd have to build a big bit of framing though. Right, so yeah, so here we go. So I'm up at the top. And this is where it gets funky. Very funky, because don't forget, in the narrative, look how high I am. These are people down there. In the narrative, this is a seabed. So again, you've got the swells, by the way. That's not the main bits, but you'll see. And look at this. Look at the swells. Like it's cut. Look, this is like two knobs at the very top of it. Can you see this? This is at the very top. So there's two knobs at the top of this. Right, it's just like it's come out of an ice cream like machine. It's crazy. Like this was the last bit to come out there. That was the last bit to come out. Now, why have you got these little nodules at the top? If I'm sitting here saying this is all being cast, like I've been saying this for over a year now, and then when I climb up to the top of this, I find these. Can you imagine how ecstatic I am when I find these little nodes?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, if you're not even thinking about it, you won't even, you know.
I know. Exactly. There's probably hundreds, thousands of people that have gone up here and never noticed it. But you can see this one's on this one. You can see the layers of it. Look. I can't believe it. But yeah, there's some people down there doing maintenance, but they're having a cup of tea.
Wow. And so is there any kind of tunnels going into this one? Or
yeah, mate,
yeah. You showed the picture. Yeah. Did you
mate, this is a whole I'll tell you what's even more bizarre about this one, mate, is for like a 2 square mile or just under a 2 square mile, there's a condensed amount of these complexes, right? There's a condensed amount of them. I've done a video on 6 of them, 6 of these sort of places, right? And I went into deep detail of them, and you can see me going inside all of them. And literally, I film every single corner of every bit of them. This one's got a well connected to it. And I'll tell you another interesting fact about the whole of this lot here. It's all underneath all of this is a military complex. That's the biggest one in the United Kingdom, and it's called Drakelow.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, these are just the tips of the iceberg poking out of the ground, and it's all connected. The whole lot's connected.
Yeah. Why would they be there? Why would that be the biggest? And so it must be extensive, massive.
Yeah, this is just one humongous complex. It's probably about 2 miles long. And it's been broken up into different little tourist attractions. It's got a military complex in there. It's got bits that have been abandoned that you're not allowed into. It's just been broken up. But yeah, this is the swells. So these are the last bits that come out of the machine at the very top. Mental, eh? Here you can see it's like it squirts them out at angles like that, because and when you look at the stonework on the walls there, it's always at an angle, like a 45-degree angle. Now I believe that's done so it, like when I've worked with concrete, you've always had to bang the boards, put something that vibrates in to get all the air bubbles out, so it makes it completely sound and strong. Because if you've got air bubbles in there, it's not sound structure. It's called not sound. So instead of like vibrating the mix, I believe they're pouring it at an angle, and that, I'm going to use the word gravity, but that allows all the air to get pushed out and it squashes all the air bubbles. So it makes no air bubbles in the mixture at all. That's my theory why that's like that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the point here. So what I'm doing here is showing you the point. So this is one node, and on the other side was the other. So at that point there where the line was, something was shooting out and squirting out the things like that. And that was the middle part of it. And this is the last tip of it here. You can see how high I am.
Hey, I think if the ancient people could definitely find a way to do that and create strong structures and that last like that in an easy way, why not? You know, why would they work harder, not smarter?
Exactly. Like who, like why would you work hard and not smart? Why would you
And
go and get a million men and drag stones that would
exactly,
kill you, you know?
that's what I was
Just
about to
go.
say. They can't explain how they build all these structures or whatever, you know, when they give their theories, and we're supposed to believe that, right? Without any kind of like real, they can't even mimic it today with their
No, no.
technology. So
Yeah, this is like an educational video. So this is going back to inside. This is inside that structure, right?
yeah,
And like I said, oh, go back one. It comes from a corner, doesn't it? It comes, like I said, you can see this has come from one corner. So this was the last squirt out of that part of the machine. So a boxing went in here, some sort of boxing. I believe a cooker was here because there's a flue going up. And I believe it, like I said, it squirts out at an angle. So these are the angles of it, right? And as you go to this very last corner, it's the last bit that come out.
yeah. So literally, like what we see is literally like the top, the roof of the
Yep.
structure. Like we,
So this is inside it now. I actually dropped a camera down the well, and the well went, I think it was 130 feet as well.
yeah.
But notice there's no on the roof. There's none of these bald marks or nothing. It's completely weird. But this one's got some door frame in it.
Yeah. Are these supposed to be like dug out by people? Is that what they tell
Yeah,
people?
hand cut hand tools.
Okay.
That's what they tell you. Again, you've got the swell marks. So this is all coming from that corner in where Abbey is. So you can tell that because where the swells are coming from. Here you've got another cooker. So like I said, this complex, I've shown you two cookers in this area now.
Yeah, yeah, the air will travel out the other way. I see that. That
Yeah, so that
definitely
goes
looks like
up
a
and just,
cooker.
and
Yeah.
then you've got the door frames as well. Yeah, if you can see the door frames.
Yeah.
This is that image I was showing you. So I went and done my own one. I went and made my own one just to like show people what is going on.
Okay,
Again,
I get it. Okay.
you get the swirl again, like I've showed you. You get this swirl in the corner, so it's always come from this one spot, right? And again, this is meant to be natural. So why have we got this? Why have we got with these bald marks in natural stone, right? Why have we got all these joint marks? Why have we got it coming from a swirl in the corner? Why does it look like someone's had to quickly put a plank of wood in because this and this was breaking or failing? You know?
Yeah.
So I made this little one down here in the corner just to show people
Yeah.
what was going on.
Yeah, I can picture it now. Wow.
It's in my mind that this image is undeniable. This is clearly, and you can see all the lime. Don't get it mixed up because some of this is white paint, but on the joints, that's where the lime's coming through. The lime, and that's the calcium that's in the geopolymer.
So is the entrance to the military place on a different location from where this is?
Yeah, I think there's a few locations to it, and there's a few locations to it, and there's a few that have been disused as well.
Wow.
And what I will say is there's probably more stuff than what I've seen here as well. It's just that we haven't come across it yet. Well, it could be buried.
So what are they keeping out or keeping in, or?
You tell me, mate. This is one thing about Malta. I'm getting a bit worried. Like I keep watching reptilian stuff. Well, I don't keep watching it. It keeps popping up. I'm trying to not listen to it because like it makes me nervous going in these places.
Yeah.
But someone sent me a video last night and I watched it, and I was like, oh my God, I can't even go in anywhere now. It was about them. I knew about the story, but it was about the school children going missing in Malta in the Hypogeum. And I was showing my girlfriend it, and she was like, oh, I don't think I can ever go in anywhere again.
Yeah, hard to tell nowadays with their whole, rings with the child stuff. But
Exactly, that as well, mate. That as well. And not only that, it's a good place to go missing, isn't it? Who's
yeah,
going to know you're down there? There's no CCTV. There's nothing.
yeah, and like you said, like people will see Malta, like you said, it just seems like a big structure, the whole island. So like
Oh,
goes
yeah.
deep. Yeah.
Yeah. So, guy, if people, the people that are watching this, like I've done the whole, like these videos are like a year old. So me and Kurimeo thought we'd start here just to introduce myself and what we're about. But
Yeah.
the next couple of episodes, if he's willing to do a couple more, we're going to be doing ones in Malta.
Yep.
And touching England as well, because I found some stuff in England as well that was like giant stuff, like Gog Magog and stuff like that, and also fabricated coastlines, like man-made coastlines. So these are more joints and stuff that just doesn't seem natural. Again, this is another one of the rooms. Door frame, paint on the wall, leaves everywhere, leaf it out. And again, this is like one of the best images for me, because
Wow, look at that.
like the geologist, what'd you say? Like, because she's 4 individual parts of a building meeting.
Yeah.
But all the joint marks or the striations, sorry, all going different directions. You know, these are vertical, these are going at like just under a 90 degree, and these are going like flat. It's just strange, isn't it? Like, it just doesn't seem natural to me. Like I can't explain it, but it just don't seem natural. Something to do.
Yeah, I don't look natural to me either.
No. Oh, so yeah, that's that. I've just got a couple more, and then
hey, we can, it's up to you, man. But you've shown a lot. I mean, it's late for you because you're all the way over there. It's early for us.
yeah, all right. I'll just go through one more thing for you. I want to show you the metal. The metal. I don't know how much I showed you. All right, so yeah, I'll just show you the metal and we'll call it a day. It's not a lot. It's only about 5 minutes maximum.
No worries, man. The people are loving it.
I know. Sometimes when I get excited, I waffle on and I talk so much, and sometimes I forget where to leave it alone and where to be quiet. So going back to the metal, I want to show you this like up close and personal. Is it sharing?
Yes.
Right. So we're back in Bridgenorth.
Yeah.
And this is the render. And this was the structure. This was the iron sheeting that running through the building.
Yep.
Can you see that?
Yep.
And this goes back about half a foot back as well. So how, like, even if that stopped there, how would you get that plate in there?
That's literally an iron plate, though. That's
Yeah, of course it is. Look at it. It's an iron plate.
So
it's in between 2 blocks of sandstone.
Wow. How do they explain that? Yeah.
Exactly. Look at this. And one other thing. Actually, can I leave you with one other thing?
You can take as long as we can go hours. It doesn't matter. Like, it's up to you. Like I said.
Because I want to show you guys just one thing from Malta that I've been doing.
Yeah.
Just
no
so you
worries.
can see it. Where is she gone? Here she is. So it's only like a 2-minute clip. I think it's 2 minutes. And this is the video that's out now. It's on now. It's live now at 8 o'clock. So how do I share that one? Here we go. Share screen. So this here is a complex again. So this is a 2-minute video, and then we'll call it a day if that's all right.
Yep.
If I haven't bored you guys. Is the screen sharing?
Yeah, I see it. Yep.
Right. So this is in Malta. This is what I've been up to in Malta. So it's been limestone, it's sandstone in England, and it's the limestone in Malta. So I'm flying my drone up against this complex because you're not allowed in it. Now look at this. Now this, I don't know if this is for humans or what. This is meant to be catacombs, but I have so many questions about this. It just don't make sense. If you was to carry a dead person in here, like put it this way, the only way you can come into this part here is on your hands and knees.
Okay.
Like what else could do that? You'll see. Like it just screams reptilian to me, this sort of stuff. And this here, what's this little alien head about? Can you see? It looks like that famous image of the alien head on the side.
Yeah, elongated skull. It does look like an elongated skull.
Yeah. Look at it.
Yeah.
And again, by the way, you can see cast in sections. This is one section cast on top of the other. They've even tried to hide this and bury this part.
This is in Malta, right?
Yeah, this is Malta. That's right.
Okay.
So I just wanted to finish off just to show you guys what I've been up to in Malta.
Yeah,
again,
so a lot of people's probably heard things about Malta and seen the card marks or whatever, so called. But Paul shows you a whole different view of Malta in a different way. So
yeah, a whole different perspective.
Yeah.
We're backed with very logical theories, by the way, and extremely incredible imagery. Even if you think I'm nuts, just watching the footage is incredible anyway. Yeah, let me just.
And so those stairs go down. Are they buried or?
Then these stairs come down into this little here.
Is that buried or?
No, there's a little bit of mud in there, but I don't know where. Like, I think that's just what's blown over.
And it might look like it might go down more.
Mate, high possibility. We're quite high up, and look. So this is what they say they're for catacombs, like, but they don't match the proportion from the head to the size of the part they lay in. It don't make sense unless they were like very small people. And what's this little thing in the middle?
Is that like you go to the bathroom or something?
Doesn't it, mate? It actually does.
Like an outhouse, yeah. I don't know.
But this is actually connected to a windmill. No, sorry, the windmill's been built directly above this. So at some point, some guy thought it was a good idea to build a windmill on top of this ancient site. You know, it's crackers, isn't it? Absolutely crackers.
Crackers, yeah.
And you've got all these like imprints down here. This could have been when it was like dismantled, though. You know. Here we go. Look at that. It's just very strange. This video's on YouTube now.
Wow.
But you can see like the different layers that have been cast on top of this. Look here. They've tried to bury it with this concrete.
Definitely looks like the top. Like it goes down.
Yeah, look at the top of a complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. And that's literally what I'm saying, like, about everything in Malta. But you can see there's water in here and going up. This is all one stone going up, by the way. But then they've chopped that down and built on top of it, and they built a windmill. Like, I mean, why would you build a windmill on top of this ancient site? So I was trying to get my drone in as close as possible, but it's expensive and I don't want to lose it. If it falls in the water, it's game over.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to be, but this is the finishing shot, the grand finale.
Wow. Yeah.
There's that little scallywag, eh? Yeah, so there you go, guys.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I haven't bored you, I really do.
Yeah, it's amazing what like all of Malta is just like it is literally like a big building complex, and it just goes down in many levels, and it's all interconnected, and it's all like just you walk around, it's just like everywhere ruins.
Valletta's got 10 levels. Valletta's got 10 levels. It's a complex of 10 levels, man. Yeah, from sea level up until the current ground level, there's 10 levels. That's phenomenal, man. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's just because it's just the history, the connection, like what they say about the people who ended up in these places, the first people, and where their mythological history kind of connects to the Americas. So that's why I'm like, wow. So I think that you're onto sign, definitely, and I think that this can lead to you maybe even possibly coming over here and helping us out, see what you find over
Oh, mate,
here.
I'd love
You
to,
know,
mate. I'd love to, man. I'm on the road
yeah,
as well, mate. I'm not plotting up in Malta for the rest of my life. It's literally we're gonna scoop up as much, work out as much as possible, then move on. And that's what we're gonna do. We do have India and Egypt in the pipeline as well.
yeah.
So
Because
yeah,
I've seen a lot of like you showed a lot of things, and I know I've seen these things in the U.S., North America, where I live here in Central America. So I think that yeah, I think you got the whole world open, that
yeah.
things people have been ignoring and stuff. Because so keep doing what you're doing, man. And it's been a pleasure to have you on, man. And I know
Mate,
I know everybody's gonna enjoy this. It's gonna probably be shared a lot.
it's been
And
an honor, mate. It's been a real honor. And do you know what? Do you know what the good thing about it is, mate? It's been refreshing for me to go through the old footage. It really has, because I forget like what I've been up to, because my head gets so involved in like current situations, like what I'm up to now. I forget what I was up to last year. And just going through
yeah,
that footage, I was stunned myself, like just looking at it going, wow, this is phenomenal, man.
yes,
So
it's a lot. That's why I wanted you to kind of like remind everybody, if you work in England, because that's just amazing, because that stuff's not supposed to be there at all.
mate, that's the
And
tip of the iceberg as well, though. I've actually found a humongous pyramid on an island off of England, and
hmm,
it's identical to a place called Hattusa in Turkey. The stonework's identical. The shape of this pyramid it's a unique shape, is identical, and
yeah.
it shouldn't be in England. It shouldn't be here.
Mhm.
So I did a meet up at that place, and like about 30 people turned up. And we was just walking around, just picking
So
things out.
is that a future video, or you can film
I've
or?
got that's a very old video. I've got all this
Oh,
stuff.
okay, okay,
I,
okay.
I took a lot of videos off. I took a lot of videos off because I ended up
Mhm.
having like 300 videos up there. So I just took about 100 and something down. But I will happily share them. I might even upload them again.
Yeah,
But
definitely. This sounds interesting. Definitely. And I mean, it doesn't. The more videos you got up, the better. More people, more traffic.
yeah, I know
Yeah.
that is right. That is spot on. But if you want to do another session, I don't mind presenting that stuff on your show again.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I think people enjoyed it. We can do definitely many sessions as you like. I'll be honored, and
Yeah, vice
yeah,
versa.
it's been good, man. It's been like people enjoyed it, and I think it'll help connect a lot of the research we do here and
Mhm.
everything, and then open your eyes to like a whole world empire, like world. This knowledge must have been going around. A lot of people must have known, and so these structures are probably all over the place.
Definitely, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely, man. We got a lot of work to do, haven't we? We've got a
yeah,
lot of work to do, mate.
yeah. But hope everybody enjoyed it. Any final words you wanna say? Any?
No, I mean, thanks for the time. If you're here, and I hope I haven't bored you. If you want to continue watching my journey, because I'm on a journey at the minute. Like I didn't wake up with all the knowledge. I'm still learning as we go along. So if you want to learn the journey, want to watch me learn the journey, you want to be part of it, feel free to go over and subscribe on my channel. I'll be blessed if you did. It doesn't cost nothing. It's just a couple of clicks. I'll be blessed if you could do that for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Make sure to subscribe, guys. The link of his channel is on my description of this video. And so make sure to subscribe, or just put Paul Cook on the search and it'll come up. It's this picture right here. That's the logo, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Um,
One in the center.
yeah. So it's been an honor to have you, man. Thanks for coming through. Um, and we're gonna definitely look into that some more, and we'll look forward to having you on again. And I appreciate everybody in the chat, keeping it respectful and everybody, and enjoying it and chatting among yourself. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, follow Paul. Make sure to subscribe. He's got tons of videos, like I said, old videos that I haven't even watched. I gotta go back through the list and go up. I've been blown away from what I've been watching him show in these places. So yeah, Malta's a whole nother episode. Like we're on season 2 or 3, man. You guys got to catch up. Paul Cook season 3. Yeah, it becomes like a, reality show. We do follow you because of your expertise in certain things, and how you put things in a logical way. So I think a lot of my followers will appreciate that part. Uh, you know, but thanks to everybody for coming through. We're gonna leave now. You know, make sure to follow everybody. There's a lot of people that actually visited too on the chat that have channels. Make sure to support them too. And again, thanks for coming through. Much love and respect. Pura vida, mi gente. Hawa, Hawa, yeah.